Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back, students. So we are on online lecture number 5 of the mobile application development course. In the previous class we started discussing intents, but today we are going to dig deep into what are intents is, specifically what are explicit intents and how we can use it. So these intents are the cornerstones of any mobile application development, and they gives you a lot of power and ability to enhance the functionality of your mobile application. So today we are going to discuss what are explicit intents with example. We are also going to discuss and talk more about the constraint layout, and we are going to see how we can pass data using explicit intents. So with that, let us revise what we were doing in the previous class. So in the previous class, we said that we are going to create two activities, the main activity and the second activity. We are going to send data from the main activity and receive it on the second activity, and then we are going to display the text on the second activity here using a text view, and then we are going to send back a message from second activity to the main activity, and then we are also going to display the message of the second activity on the main activity here. So with that, let me go to Android Studio and let us see what we have done so far. So we created this main activity and the corresponding activity underscore main XML file, and we were using the constraint layout. So we created the edit text and the button, and today we are going to create two more text views. So with that, let me click and drag one text view over here. Okay, you can like constrain it to the left, to the right, and to the top, and then I am going to move it over here. So this is our text view. You can always increase or decrease the length and the width by directly holding on this square rectangle and dragging it. So far we have this text view. Let me give it an ID of text header replay, text underscore header underscore replay, and we are going to display, initially we are going to display nothing on the text view. So here we have one text view. I think I should increase the length a little bit. Then I'm going to create another text view below this text view. So you can click here, drag it here, constrain it to the top, to the left. So constraint are like some rules that make sure that your element is positioned at a particular, your object is appears at a particular location on the mobile phone screen. So this is our second text view. Alright, with that I'm going to give it an ID of, so make sure that you have selected this option, text message underscore replay. I'm going to refactor it, and you can then delete this initial text. Okay, so we have we have used some constraint, and you can see that you can preview these constraints at the right side of your mobile phone screen. Okay, I'm going to go to the split view, and then you can see we have a button, a text view. You can always go to code, and you can, like, here is an option which says reformat code. So it will reformat it in a proper way. And then we can you can also change attributes from here, like wrap content, the header, the width, the height, and then we can specify margin start, dB. And then the important thing is that I would say the visibility of this text view initially is invisible. So visibility is invisible. So initially it won't be visible to you unless we get some text from the other activity. And then you can say the text style is bold, and the text on top of it is reply received. So of course we are going to use the string file text underscore header underscore replay. So we are going to create this text, create a string in our in our string file. Okay, so here we can type reply receive, click OK, and then we can move on to everything looks fine. We can move on to the next text view. Once again I am going to set the visibility to invisible, and I think the width should be wrap content, so will be the height. And with that I think we are done with the design part of activity underscore main. So now let us go to the main activity, and here I can code for the main activity. So you can always put some comments like using /, and you can write class name for log tag. So we are going to create a private static final string, and it will be log underscore tag. So we are going to tag this class, and whenever you want to get the name of this class, you can write main activity dot class dot get simple name. So this built-in method will return you the name of this class, which we need it in the second activity. And then I can say unique tag required for the intent extra. So once again declare public static final string, and it will be extra message. And then you can always give it the name of this package, which is com.example explicit intent dot extra dot message. And there we have it. I'm going to unique tag for the intent replay. So this will be the tag to get the replay from the second activity. So public static final int text underscore request, which will be equal to 1. Okay, if you do not understand these variables, just leave it. We are going to discuss them later on. But for now, let me create some private variable. The first one is the edit text. Yeah, and this is m dot. So m here means the member variable m dot message edit text. And the second one for the text view m replay header text view, and then private text view m replay text view. Okay, with that we can move to our main method on create, and inside this method I'm going to initialize all the view variables. So the first one is message edit text using find view by id, and then we can pass it i.id.edit text main. So the edit text that is used in the main file. Okay, remember that here we are getting the reference of these edit text, the reference of the object of these edit text, and then we can say m replay header text view find view by id dot id dot text header replay m replay text view find view by id dot id dot text message replay. Okay, so we are done with getting the reference for these variables, and then in order to launch the second activity here, in the main on create method, I am going to, in fact I'll go outside of this create method, and then I'm going to I'm going to declare another method public void, and this one is for launching the second activity. Launch second activity view, and then we can say, like, in order to make sure that we are in this activity, so I'm going to write log tag, and the message will be, so I'm going to make sure that the button is clicked. So button clicked. Log class is not imported, so I'm going to import it by pressing alt enter. Okay, then we are going to use these explicit intents. So how we use it? You simply write intent, then the reference variable, which is intent. It can be anything, but make sure it's has a meaningful name. Create the object of the intent class, and then pass it as argument this activity and the name of the second activity, which in our case is second activity dot class, which we haven't created it so far, so we are going to create it. But let me first complete this this method. So string message, so what will be the message? So the message is m message edit text dot get text from the edit text, and then convert it to the string, and then we can attach it to the intent dot how, by using special method called put extra. Here you can write extra underscore message and then pass it on as a message as an argument. Then we are going to say start activity for result, and then we are going to write intent. So we are calling another activity, and at the same time we are expecting from that activity a result. So that is why we are using start activity for result method. And we are also going to pass in the text request. Okay, so with that, this second activity is giving us an error. It is because we haven't created any second activity. So go to this package name new and activity. Make sure that you choose the empty activity and then give the name of the second activity. So in our case it is second activity. Make sure it has the corresponding XML file activity underscore second. Yeah, we are going to use the constraint layout and the source language is once again Java. So click finish. So now you can see that the error has gone, but the Android Studio is making sure that everything goes fine and the required files are created for this second activity. Okay, in this second activity we have the same layout as it was in the first activity. So congratulations, you created the second activity. I'm going to go to the XML of the second activity and I'm going to increase zoom in, and here we are going to use two text view. So this is number one. Make sure that you constrain it to the left, to the right, to the top. If you do not constrain it, it will show a very weird behavior when you run this app. So here I can give it an ID of text underscore header, refactor it and delete the initial text view. And then we are also going to create another text view. So I'm going to constrain it to the right, to the left, and with the top text view. And then once again this is going to show the text message. So here I'm going to give it an ID of text underscore message. Remember, these IDs are used in a Java programming, so that is why give always a unique ID to meaningful ID to the text view. And I'm going to delete refactor, delete this by default text view. Okay, so we are done with the two text views, and now I'm going to create a button. So click on this button, click and drag. Okay, this one is option. So we have a button, constrain it to the left, to the bottom, and then we are going to create edit text. So yeah, we can go here and then I can create this edit text over here. Okay, so I'll make sure that the second text view is constrained with this edit text. Okay, then you can reposition it. That is looking fine. And then I'm going to change the text of this button to replay, and then of course it will be button underscore second. Refactor it, and then we can also uh, change the ID for this edit text. It is edit text underscore second, and everything looks fine. Yeah, and we can here write enter your replay here. Enter your replay here. Make sure that it's a meaningful message to the user, and then you can always go to your XML file and just inspect what are the different um, attributes of the text view. So you can see that we have the first text view, and it has ID of text header, um, and I think I should give it a text. So once again we are going to use a string file, and it is text underscore header, and we are going to create this text header string in the string file. So you can click on this small red bulb, and here I can say, yeah, the resource value is message received. Okay, I'm also going to use the text appearance, and I'm going to use @style text appearance app compact dot medium, and then of course the text style will be bold, and everything rest is okay. We are going to go to the second text view. So let me scroll down. I think everything looks fine here. We have an ID, and then constraint to top of ID. So we are at the top of this edit text second, and then we have the button constraint. So it also has a text, and the text is just replay, but we can use at the string file, and then we can say button second, button underscore second, and then declare the text, which is a replay. So we can also inspect the values for the edit text over here. I think I should change the length a little bit. Okay, so we are done with the design part of the second activity, and then if we go back to the main activity, you will see that uh, yeah, I think I'm going to run this app because I'm going to see whether we are able to start the second activity using explicit intent or not. So let us wait for our emulator. Yeah, there it is. So Gradle is doing its job. You can see over here Gradle build running. So Gradle is compiling all these files, collecting them, compressing them, converting them into the a.apk file, which is Android package kit, which are the exe files for your Android phones, and these are the executable file that are run on the Android smartphones. So we can wait for this Gradle build to finish its job, and then we can see. So Gradle has finished. So there we have it, explicit intent. This is our first activity. Let us see whether we are able to go to the second activity. Click on the button. So interestingly, it is doing nothing, and I think the problem is that if we go to the activity underscore main, and if we go to our button object, so here we haven't defined the on click attribute. The on click attribute is the second launch second activity. So I'm going to apply changes and restart. And wait for the Gradle bit to do its job. So Gradle invocation failed. We have 0 error or success operation succeeded, and then I think we are done. I can click this button now, and you can see that we are on the second activity. So this is because we were able to use the explicit intent here. So in this explicit intent, we specify the first activity and the name of the second activity, and then we create a string, a variable, where we get the message from the edit text and then convert it into the string, and then we attach that message with this intent. How? By using this intent object intent dot put extra, and we write extra message because extra message is the key value, is the key, and message is the value. So this message will be represented by this extra message variable. Then you can start the next activity by calling a method called start activity for result. Pass it the intent and the text request. So second activity will be called, and then it will be activated, and you will pass this message, and then you are also expecting some text to be passed again to the main activity. So that is why we have used the text request tag. So if you go to the manifest file, you will see that the second activity is also automatically included in the manifest file. Activity Android name second activity. So this is because the activity manifest file is the main administrator boss file, and it makes sure that whatever activities we are using in our app are included here, and the icon name, the label, the icon shape, and the theme. So everything is included in the um, manifest file. So with that, I'm going to stop here, and I'll see you in the next class. Take care, and Allah Hafiz.